We're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. If everybody could stand, and at the end of the Pledge of Allegiance, please remain standing. Bill will be singing the Star Spangled Banner. Standing is difficult for anybody because some of us are old. Sitting is okay too. But don't kneel because Bucky will get you. Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare of bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sing us that star-spangled banner yet wave. For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you. Have a seat. In August of 1940, Great Britain was involved in a air battle for its very existence. And at that time, Winston Churchill addressed Parliament. I'd like to paraphrase one little phrase of his. It was, "Never have so many owed so much to so few." We now find ourselves 83 years later in a continent away that applies today. Gentlemen and ladies, thank you very much for all your services. Honoring the sacrifices many have made for our country in the name of freedom and democracy is in the very foundation of our Veterans Day. On Veterans Day, let us remember that sacrifice of our vets, and let us renew our sacred obligation and promises. Also,
Your doorbell camera company and cancel.
Did I do that?
No.
I made somebody, man.
The same guy that owns the lottery number.
That's right. You're getting quite a reputation, Phil.
Right, oh.
So let us remember the families who together have sacrificed so much that we can all live free. Now, again, thank you. And it's very appropriate that we thank all our veterans and remember them always.
Sure.
I have some brief, a brief address for you. And I can't take credit for this because I'm not smart to write something like this. But this is a speech that was given at a VFW annual convention. And there was no author given on the internet. So I'd just like to read you this piece. It's quite brief. On the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, the fighting of World War I ended in 1918. Due to the conclusion of the war to end all wars, November 11th became a universally recognized day of celebration. The day was originally declared Armistice Day, 8 years after the end of World War I, and honored only veterans of that war. Then in 1954, after World War II and the Korean War, it was renamed Veterans Day to honor all veterans who served America in war and defended democracy. So today we honor all of our veterans who unselfishly placed their lives on the line for our freedom. Those men and women were ordinary people until they heard the call of duty and answered it. They left their families, their homes, and their lives, not for recognition or fame, or even the honor we bestow upon them today. They fought to protect our country, to maintain our way of life. As we honor our veterans and remember their great deeds, let us also salute those who are currently fighting for our freedom. The war on terrorism has helped us all realize how truly unique the American way of life is. The freedom we enjoy is extremely special, and that is why we must defend it. So now it is time to not only honor those who have fought or are fighting for our freedom, it is also time for each of us to take part in protecting it. The defense of freedom is not just for those in the military. Each of us shares that duty and responsibility. We don't have to join the Army or the Navy or any other organization of defense to actively defend our way of life. We can protect our freedom simply by maintaining it here in America. If we want to preserve our freedoms, we must put them into action. For example, by voting in elections or speaking out against injustices. We must also ensure that everyone feels the benefits of freedom. And we can do that by volunteering in our communities or teaching our children what it really means to be an American. Veterans Day isn't just for veterans. It's a day for all Americans. It's a day to remember why they were fighting, and a day for all of us to begin our journey of protecting our freedom and the freedom of many future generations. Thank you for honoring our veterans today. Let us walk toward tomorrow, still honoring them by living in the freedom they protected. I thought that was particularly well done. Not by me, but by the fellow that wrote that. I stumbled over it. I have one other little piece. I've read it at past Veterans Days. It is The Soldier. It's written by Charles Province, who was in the U.S. Army at the time. It is the soldier, not the minister, who has given us freedom of religion. It is the soldier, not the reporter, who has given us freedom of the press. It is the soldier, not the poet, who has given us freedom of speech. It is the soldier, not the campus organizer, who has given us freedom to protest. It is the soldier, not the lawyer, who has given us the right to a fair trial. It is the soldier, not the politician, who has given us the right to vote. It is the soldier who salutes the flag, who serves beneath the flag, and whose coffin is draped by the flag, who allows the protester to burn the flag. Powerful words.
Remain seated. Phil will now lead us in America the Beautiful.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of rain, for purple mountain majesties, above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea. So beautiful for pilgrim feet, who stern impassioned stress, a thoroughfare for freedom beat across the wilderness. America, America, God mend thine every flaw, confirm thy soul in self-control, thy liberty in law. Oh, beautiful for heroes proved in liberating strife, who more than self the country love, and mercy more than life. America, America, may God thy gold refine, till all success be nobleness, and every gain divine. Oh, beautiful for patriot dream that seems beyond the years, thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea.
Thank you very much, Bill. I'd like to call on Ben McCarty now. He's the post commander of our local American Legion Post 335.
Thank you. Great thank you to the Norfolk Council on Aging and the Senior Center for today's lunch and presentations. Bill Crane, when he spoke today, he talked about all the veterans that were here. And we thank all those who are here. But I also just wanted to do a quick survey in this room. How many people have someone else currently serving in the military in their family, whether it's immediate family or extended family? Okay, you got a fair number, but thank them all for their service, much appreciated. I myself, and we also have one in our family right now. Our son Thomas McCarty is in the Army, and on behalf of everyone else who's serving, we appreciate that sacrifice. But as you see, it's the numbers are dwindling. There's not as many as there. We have a volunteer army. And Legion magazine this month, they had a article on the recruiting issues. They said 23% of the American population ages 17 to 25 are eligible and capable of joining the military. From that, then you have to then compete with the civilian economy and the efforts out there. You then also have to look at the physical fitness requirements and the other cultural issues about whether you can wear a beard or not, whether you can choose to wear certain clothing and that, and then whether you marijuana use as well, so it gets even smaller. So there's an issue there that needs to be addressed, and I challenge everyone in this room to talk about their experiences in the military and about how important it is to the next generation and to the public so that we can keep our freedoms and our way of life going. Because there are some people in the world and countries in the world that don't like that what we stand for, the freedoms, the liberty to do certain things, to talk back to your government, to disagree with people. Some countries you do that and you're going to be killed. So it's important. And the European Union has just recently found out how important it is to have a strong defense, because all of a sudden they've decided that they need to increase their military budget. And for the past several years, they had not done that. It had been requested as a part of being NATO that they spend 2.5% of their gross domestic product for defense. They did not do that, and as a result, Russia saw the opportunity to try and pounce, and they are now fighting in Ukraine. You talk to Germany and the Italians, and they say, oh yeah, we can get back to 2.5%, but it may take 10 years, which leads us to Uncle Sam and the United States to defend global democracy. So again, it's important that we all follow through and voice our opinions on that and protect the world as best we can in our country. Get involved in your communities any way you can, and also whether it's teaching chess at school, volunteering for the schools, volunteering in your communities, the sports organizations, the youth groups, the churches, the senior centers. Just be active, roll, vote as well. And if anyone has more interest in the American Legion, we meet the second Wednesday of every month. Our next meeting is actually tonight at 6:30 at the Federated Church. We have a hot meal at 6:30, and then the business meeting starts at 7. Everyone is welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Now I'd like to call on Lori Schultz. Lori's a member of a 335 American Legion, where Ben and I, and she and several other people are here.
Thank you, Dwayne,
You're welcome.
and thank you, everybody, for being here. Closer, how's that? Thank you to the Norfolk Senior Center for supporting us here and having everybody here. I hope she got lunch. Anyway, on what Ben was talking about, I got in the military when I was 22 years old. So I already had 2 years out of high school and bebopping around. Everybody that joins the military doesn't necessarily have patriotic thoughts in mind. I certainly didn't. I was looking for adventure. I needed something more than working 2 full-time jobs to support an apartment, a car, and all those other things. So I got into the Army, and I ended up in Desert Storm after X amount of years. I've got a little over 22 years in the service. So again, with what Ben was reiterating about the rest of the world, when I was in Saudi Arabia, you're lost. You just follow the person in front of you, those kind of things. You meet the people around. I met British soldiers. They had to be the funniest bunch of people I've ever been around. Honest to God, those guys, and they were dangerous. They were dangerous. I didn't understand how half of them didn't get killed. But anyway, without those experiences, and even with the Arabs, there, for me and in my mind, nothing against them, I had a tough time over there. But without the understanding, without the opportunity to be over there, even under those
Circumstance.
thank you. Circumstances, that's what happens when you get older. Circumstances, I never would have understood what it was like to be over there, what it was like to be part of them. You know, I was over there for a year. My sister sent me, you remember back in the day in elementary school, wax paper, and you got the leaves at the fall, and you put them down, you iron over them, and you have them in your hair. She sent me one of those. And I hung it up in my, we were on a barge, and I hung it up on my wall. When I left, I gave it to one of the Saudi royal police that I worked with. And they had no idea. It was awesome to them. So understanding where we are in conflict, giving a little bit of time to everybody around us to understand where they're coming from and what they experience in their lives will help us get closer to maybe a little bit more freedoms, maybe a little more understanding, and not have everybody at each other's, throats. We all live through experiences, and hopefully we come out better from them, but we also come out with better understanding if we give the understanding a chance. So thank you very much, and I honor all of you, and see you guys tonight. Thank you.
Before we continue, I have a couple of announcements. On December 7th, 1 o'clock here, there will be a presentation that's sponsored by the History Channel on Pearl Harbor. Those people that have seen it said it's really worth seeing. 1 o'clock here on the 7th of December. At 2 o'clock, Mr. Jim Schweitzer is interested in forming a veterans organization or meeting of some type. Stay after you see the Pearl Harbor, stay for the meeting. I don't have any further information on that. I'd like to have Bill Conklin, the veterans agent, just stand up so everybody knows who you are. And let them know how they can get a hold of you if they need to get you.
Say that?
How would they get a hold of you?
Well, if you get hold of me by telephone, I'm a part-time veteran service agent, and so what I ask vets to do is to call me on my home phone, and I promise you I won't answer it. I'll come home and check my messages, and I'll get back to you in a few hours. And I'll set up an appointment with you. We'll talk a little bit on the phone, see what the issue is, and then we'll meet at Town Hall at a point in time that's convenient for both of us. I'll meet people who work after normal work hours. I'll take your phone call anytime, day or night. Just go and answer it. And my goal is to get back to you as quickly as possible. And my job is to help you forge through VA forms if you have some claim against the, well, not against the government, but with the VA. It's too much to talk about here, but it's very convoluted, very bureaucratic. If you try to do it on your own, you never will get through it. And that's my job, is to sort of navigate that for you. There's also another aspect of my job, and that is the state of Massachusetts has a law that no veteran nor his widow will go destitute. And so that's essentially lack of a better word, a welfare program for anybody who's in dire financial straits. And I can talk to you about that and work something out sometimes if I help you financially stay in your home, for example, or just live here in Norfolk if that's the place to live. And, otherwise, survive in this very costly world. Thank you.
Thank you. Now in conclusion, Phil Salmo will lead us in the last selection. God bless America. Immediately following that, Phil has a selection that he'd like to play.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
It's Bill Haley in the comments, rock around the clock.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love you, sis. And God bless the USA.
Thank you very much, man. That is really moving. And thank you for everybody for coming. Looking on at the veterans we have here, I'm sure and I'm confident America's in good hands. Thank you.